All right, welcome everybody to another session of the Big Agent Training. So we're doing these every week. We're just showing you little snippets of how to use the system to streamline your business. So today's session is on offer management. It's on offer management. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our Big Agent landing page, your portal landing page, and we're going to log into the back of the portal. We're going to show you how to streamline offers and how different people can submit offers on one of your listings. So now that we're inside of the agent portal, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the listings button. And then we're going to see in the listings button all the listings that you may have set up. Maybe you have one, maybe you have none. Of course, if you don't have any, you might have to hit the add listings button and add a listing in. And we're going to click on these listings, and I want to point out a couple of things to you. The first one I'm going to point out is the offers tab up here. Do you see the offers tab? Yeah, that's where you're going to track the offers that come in. So we're going to track the offers that come in is on the offers tab. Second thing I want to point out is if I go to the details tab and I hit the URL to our good old friend, the listing landing page, this is a URL that you can share to clients or other agents to have all the information on a listing. So you can send it out, you can show them the buyer agent compensation that you're offering. You can show them your contact information, any documents, but also what's on here is a make an offer button. See this button, make an offer? And if I click it, you'll notice that this offer is specific. It has a specific URL to the listing. And this is might be something very important for you to learn because let's say you have a client that wants to make an offer on a listing, or another real estate agent wants to make an offer on the listing. You can bypass the landing page and you can just send them this URL. You can text it to them, you can email it to them and say, hey, if you want to make an offer, please click this link here. Okay, please click the link. And when they click the link, this is what they're going to get. Let's make an offer. Let's get started. It's going to ask you, are you a buyer or are you an agent? Are you a buyer or an agent? Which one are you? So let's do the buyer workflow first. Say I'm a buyer. First name is Al. It's going to ask me for my address. It automatically looks up my address. It's going to ask me for my phone number. It's going to ask me the best time to contact me. Is there a co-buyer? And what the co-buyer's contact information is. It's going to ask me for the co-buyer's address, their email, the best phone number to reach the co-buyer, the best time to contact the co-buyer. Then it's going to say, are you working with a real estate agent? Now, this is where it gets interesting. If I say yes, it's going to stop me and be like, whoa, 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 you're working with an agent. Give me the agent's information. We're going to get you out of the system because I can't be collecting an offer from you. I have to reach out to your agent, right? But if I go back and I say no, then it's going to give us a disclaimer. It's important to note that we can customize these disclaimers for you. The general disclaimer is going to say, okay, by proceeding with this system and negotiating directly with the seller's agent, understand that I don't represent you. And understand that you're not making a formal offer, you're making an intent to make an offer. This is an information gathering exercise. And by proceeding with the submission of this intent to make an offer through this interface, the buyer agrees to the terms outlined above and understands that further action, including engagement of legal counsel or real estate agents, may be necessary to formalize the transaction. Nice big disclaimer for the customers that they're going to agree to. Then it's going to say, what's your offer amount? And then after that, it's going to say, well, when do you want to close? When do you want to close this deal? How much you want to put an offer in for? When do you want to close? And then it's going to explain what contingencies are to the customer, right? Buyer contingencies in a real estate contract are safeguards ensuring a smooth transaction. They include the right to inspect the property's condition, verify its appraised value aligns with the purchase price, and secure financing approvals. If any of these conditions aren't met, the buyers have the option to negotiate, amend, or withdraw from the contract without penalty, protecting their investment and providing peace of mind throughout the process. So it explains what contingencies are to them. And then it's going to say, hey, do you want an appraisal contingency? And this is where I think the system's kind of funny. It says, yes, I want an appraisal contingency. No, I want to waive the contingency. Or what, Al, what is this one? What's the third option say?
I don't know what this means.
I didn't read the last slide. I don't know what a contingency is. I don't care. I'm operating without a buyer's agent, without representation. I clearly need it, and I'm going to let you know because I'm going to click. I don't know what this means. Same thing with the home inspections, the mortgage contingencies, and the property sale contingencies. You have to get through the contingency notices. Now it's going to ask you about financing. This is another place where you have variable workflows in the system. It's going to say, hey, what type of financing you want? If you say, I'm doing a mortgage, it's going to ask you, well, do you need down payment assistance? Who you pre-approved through? Who's the loan officer? Provide a copy of the pre-approval. But if I say current home equity, it's going to say, well, what's the house that you have to sell? Because that's a property sale contingency if you're using the current home equity. And it'll ask you a bunch of questions about that property. Or I could say I'm paying cash and then it's done. It's like, oh, cool, cash buyer, no more information needed. I can hit agree, hit continue. I do my TCPA and I hit finish. And I'm done. I can go grab all the information from somebody looking to make an offer on a listing by just text messaging them that link. And now what I'm going to be able to do is in the back end of my agent portal, I'm going to be able to go to that listing. I'm going to hit the offers tab. And look at that. That offer for Al just showed right up in the offers tab. And now I can click on Al's name. And now there's a little tab in here for offer info. And now I can go see whether they said, I don't know, yes, no, and the mortgage contingencies, the offer amount I can see. I can go see when I hit client info, all the buyer's information. I can hit the property info seller tab and I can see the address of the house that they said they needed to sell. I can hit the financing tab and see that they chose that they're paying cash and they don't need any type of down payment assistance. Or if they selected they were getting a mortgage, I would have been able to see what mortgage company they're using. All the information you would need to go fill out a contract is now inside of the system. And even after you go do your contracts and stuff, there's even a cool file management drive. You can hit the files tab and then you can upload a copy of that contract to the system. So you have a nice little storage tank for this data. So this is streamlining the information gathering to make an offer or to write a formalized offer. And you're going to be seeing in future versions of the Big Agent where you'll actually be able to generate those sales contracts and generate offer management reports over to your seller. The goal here is to give our listing agents a easy way to categorize offers in one place, whether they're coming from buyers directly to the listing agent or from a buyer's agent. So let's go see how you can deal with a buyer's agent, how the system's going to help you on buyer agency. And so I'm going to go back to my landing page where we started here. I'm going to scroll down my landing page and I'm going to see that I have a make an offer tile on my landing page. And this is what's really cool about this make an offer tile. If I hit it, okay, the first thing is to say is, okay, let's get started. And it's going to give me a drop down. And going in through the front end landing page and sharing this URL to that tile or the URL to your landing page tile. Either or, the difference between this one is that it shows all of your listings. So if you have a buyer agent call you and say, hey, Al, I want to make an offer on one of your listings. Al can go, no problem, do me a favor. Instead of emailing it to me, I'm going to just email you a link. I need you to go to the following link, okay? And they would go and fill this information out. You ask the buyer's agent to fill it out for you. Have the buyer agent do some of the work so you don't have to log in. They can select the listing out of all the listings that are in your backend portal. They can continue and then say, hey, I'm an agent, right? And here's the cool part. If you put compensation in on the buyer agency side, it'll show or on buyer agency compensation on the listing side, it'll show that buyer agency compensation to whoever's making an offer. It'll ask them for the agent's contact information, the buyer's information, buyer's address, not buyer's phone number and email address. We kept that out. So just the information that's usually on offer. If there's a co-buyer, of course, what the offer amount is, the proposed closing date, whether there's contingencies. Hopefully the buyer agent would know if there's any contingencies on the transaction, whether the client's paying cash or getting a mortgage, whether they need down payment assistance, what's the loan officer's name that pre-approved them, what's the company name so you can vet the pre-approval, what type of loan are they getting, do they need any seller paid closing costs? This is a great commission question for seller financing of the buyer agency fee. And then they hit agree. I agree, and done. Now, we're going to be rolling out a couple of enhancements to this side. So what just happened is the buyer agent got an email that said, hey, now please email me that offer. We're going to be rolling out enhancements in the coming month that's going to allow them to upload a copy of the pre-approval and upload a copy of the formal documents of the offer. And now what that's going to do is when you go back to the agent portal, okay, and you go log into that listing, you're going to see that offer sitting in the offer management system that came in directly from the agent. If you go into the offer and into the files tab, you'll see any of the documents that they uploaded here. So right now the system is really just, we're focusing on information gathering, but we're going to be taking the system is generating offer management reports, taking all the offers and being able to display them in a nice, clean list for your seller. We'll eventually roll out a seller portal too, where the seller is going to be able to, you're going to be able to click and make offers transparent, where the seller can go in and view all the offers. So that's all the fun stuff that we're going through with it right now. But for the purpose of this is it's just information gathering right now, an easy, streamlined way to get all the data on your listing. And now you'll get emails too. Every time an offer comes in, you'll get an email. So what I'm going to leave you with is I'm going to leave you with one cool little snippet. If you're using the system for open houses, okay, which is I think going to be our next course, but if you're using the system for open houses, just know that when you go into a listing and you generate the open house flyer, and you generate this flyer and you use this QR code to have everybody check into the open house, what's really cool about it is it'll ask the person checking in, do you want a copy of the information sheet? And if they hit yes, it's going to text message this link to that open house attendee. It's going to text message this landing page link. And look, when they leave the open house later in the day and they want to go back and look at the house, they're going to go to their text message, click the link, and look what's on there, the offer. So you might see people that come in for open houses and they check in using the QR code. They go automatically text the info for the listing landing page. You might just have random offers start showing up and you're going to get emailed every offer that comes in. They will email you and you'll know to go back to your. Any questions on the offer management side of the big agent? Okay, great. Well, thank you for attending today's class. Like we said, we're trying to keep these short little snippets of how to use the big agent to streamline your business. And we look forward to the next session. We'll see you next week.
You guys, thanks, Matt.